This is a video about my stay in psych ward, one psych ward in particular. I've been to psych wards twice, but I've been outpatient multiple times, and one of the main issues is that I'm transgender, and I never really expected I would be treated the way that I was, and it's extremely dissatisfying that I was treated that way. I was I'll explain it. It was a general state of psych ward, is what it started out as. I was SI, and I expressed the reasons why, is that I was transgender, and it was a lot of confusion for me, and it was a lot of discontent with myself. And so the first day on a psych ward it went pretty well. I came in late at night, and they gave me a room, and I went to bed. And then the next morning, I expressed my discontent with being so in the back of the women's ward, because it was a hallway, and the boys were on this side and the girls were on this side, and I was way in the back, and I was like, I don't like walking out in the morning for roll call, and then people automatically knowing that I'm a female, because I kind of want to leave the impression that I was a male instead of people assuming. I don't know how to explain it. If you're transgender, I think you get it, but it was sad. It made me sad, and so I told them, and they moved me to a room. It's by the desk. It's in the middle of the hallway. It's right by the desk. You can hear everything that goes on in it. It's basically people with current SI or just extreme SI. You know what I mean? It was just for people that need to be watched, and they said, we'll put you in the middle, and you'll be closer to the boys' ward. It's like a no gender room, and you'll be there, and nobody will ask no. And I'm like, oh, that'd be really nice. And they moved me there. I got a roommate, extremely nice. They never minded. I really preferred being in that room. I was able to eat with the boys, which was really nice. I didn't eat in the dining room initially. I stayed in the ward to eat, but about 2 meals in, I went to the dining room and I sat with the boys. Straight off the bat, no problem, nobody cared. Everybody was okay with it, and it was really nice. And we had groups after lunch, all that, and during break time or before bedtime, whatever. I said I'd really like it if I was able to hang out with the boys. There wasn't much to do. We're not very chatty. The people in the ward weren't. What we do is we just sit and drink water and draw, like with markers and crayons. We just kind of dink around, and they had a foosball table, but half the time we weren't allowed to have the ball because they thought we were just up no good. So, but when we had the ball, we played foosball, and it was really fun. It was really nice, and I really enjoyed it. And that went on for about 4 or 5 days, and then I was improving. I felt really good. Like, I felt so much more accepted than I've ever been in school, than I've ever been in my house, out in public. It was great. I felt really, really happy. And then towards the last 3 days, my psychologist, he was a middle-aged man, he expressed that I needed to start hanging out with the girls, and I asked him why, and he said, we just need to know you'll be able to readjust to going back in to the public or life or school or wherever you go. And I kind of understood, and I was like, okay, I understand, I guess. And so I took my break times with the girls. I didn't switch rooms or anything. And then during lunch, I just I sat with the boys, and then they said I had to move, and so I kind of sat with the staff. I wasn't friends with any of the girls, and I kind of felt no need to go over there. I didn't like being put into that group, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. And then after a day, I had to start hanging out with the breaks with the girls, and I did. And I never really participated. I just kind of sat there to sit there, but it created a lot of confusion. A lot of the girls were like, "Aren't you a boy? Shouldn't you be with the boys?" And I was like, "Well, the psychiatrist, I don't want to get on name. He said I should be over here." And they're like, "Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter." So that's what happened, and it made me sad, but I left shortly after, and I felt like it was good. Um, so when I was having troubles again, I had to go back to the psych ward, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it'd be like the first time, and it would kind of be easy, and it'd be pretty much a run through. You know what I mean? Like week and a half, and I'd be able to leave. It didn't really end up like that, because when I got there on the get-go, he said, you're not allowed to hang out with the girls. You're not allowed. Sorry, you're not allowed to hang out with the boys. You're not allowed to eat with the boys. No friendship with the boys. No contact with the boys. And it was weird, and I didn't really like it, and it felt wrong. Like it felt like he was up to something, and so I don't know. That's just how it went. And I was extremely unhappy, and I wasn't allowed to move rooms this time. And I like my roommate, but I wasn't allowed to move rooms towards the middle. So I was in the girls, and then I couldn't be in the boys' break room. It was like a conference room, but I wasn't allowed to be there, and that was upsetting. And I wear boy clothes, and this one boy, he came in, and he had no clothes. He didn't think he'd be staying overnight. And I just kind of gave him like some sweatpants and a shirt of mine, and I was like, it'd be great if you could put it in the wash and just give it back to me when you're done. Like, it'd be fine. I don't really care. I don't wear them because it was hot there. I wasn't gonna wear sweatpants to bed, and I gave them to him, and he was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." We both got yelled at when he gave me my clothes back, and they were like, "No contact. What are you doing?" And you're like, "He's giving me my clothes back." And they're like, "Where did he get your clothes?" And you're like, "He borrowed them when he came here." And it was weird. Like there was a lot of whiplash from it, and we were both kind of like, "What's going on? Like, why are you so upset?" They were though. I hung out. I didn't like hanging out with the girls. I spent as much time as possible in my room. But when I was there, I never really participated again. And then during lunch, I didn't sit with the girls. I stayed with the staff. My whole entire stay, I, I, I just didn't want to sit with them. I tried a few times, but it never really worked out. And I went back to sitting with the staff. I tried once to sit with the boys, and they made me get up and move. And I said, I don't want to move. I like it here. I'm not causing any issues. And they made me go back to the ward, and I ate lunch in ward for like 5 days before I finally was like, I want to go back. And they were like, "Oh, well, I guess we trust you enough to go back. We think you'll make the right decision." And they're like, "Oh, what?" So I went back and I sat with the staff again. And I kind of, if you've ever been a psych where I kind of had a moment where I was scratching and abusing my use of my pencil, and I was extremely unhappy. And normally I'm manic depressive, and it kind of comes over me in waves, but it kind of felt like I was just stuck. I was stuck in my side, and that really, really sucked. And I said, I'm not getting any better. I want to leave. And my psychiatrist expressed his discontent with me, and he said, "I don't believe, even after you transition, that you'll ever be happy with yourself." And you're just kind of like, "Excuse me? Like, what did you say to me?" And he was like, I don't think transitioning would make you happy. I don't think it's the right thing to do." And you're kind of like, "Okay, I want to leave, and I want to leave immediately." And he said, "Oh, we'll see. And he said that I started hanging out with the girls. I started participating. I'd eat lunch with them to leave. And got to the point where I wanted to leave so badly. I was so upset, and I didn't participate, but I did go on lunch with the girls. I didn't talk to any of them, which was unusual, and a lot of them expressed that it was really uncomfortable that I was there, because they said, I thought you were a boy, I thought you were transgender, should you be sitting with the boys? And you're like, no, they're making me sit with the girls, and they're like, that's weird, that's wrong. And during break time, I was going out with the girls, and they expressed it again. They're like, it doesn't feel right. Like, you're not happy. Shouldn't you be with the boys? Like, aren't you a boy? Don't you feel like you're a boy? And I said, yes, but they're making me be with the girls. And they're like, that's weird, and it's wrong. And you say, I know. That's what you say. You say, I know. You used to say it. And so that's what happened. And I left. I kind of stuck through it, and I left, and I was extremely dissatisfied. And I just felt like victimized, and that sounds weird, but I did, and I felt wrong. I felt like I was wrong, and that what I am and being transgender and wanting to change, that I was unnatural, and that I was a freak, and that there's something wrong with me, intensely wrong with me, and I just assumed that was normal. For the longest time, I thought that's how it went, and I was extremely sad, extremely depressing, and it kind of validated my SI. It validated self-harm, because I felt like I should be punishing myself. I felt like, you know what I'm feeling? It's wrong. It's wrong. It's not right. And you think it's okay to treat yourself the way you do when you're depressed and suicidal and self-harming, and it's I kind of feel like I should talk about it, because if you ever feel like you're being mistreated in the psych ward, you should say something. And if they don't believe you, you should say it to somebody else. You should call somebody, and you need to let them know, because it's not right. And it created more problems than it's ever fixed. Ever. I wish I never would have went, because it has just messed me up. And I kind of feel like I should let people know. And I'm not saying your psych ward experience would be negative, but I don't think you should ever let them tell you that what you're doing is wrong and that you'll be unhappy. I'm surprised. I have a lot of discontent over my psych ward stays. And I kind of want people to share their stories. If you've ever been transgender in a psych ward, or if you're thinking about going to a psych ward, because I don't feel like anybody should ever be treated like this. Ever. For any reason. So, yeah. I'm going to say bye, and I hope that you comment on your experiences.